Welcome to the part of 41, case, no, not for one, 44. My apologies. Hey guys, we're gonna continue to read on about the World War II battle stations for World War II. Okay, so let's continue with the number 6, Battle of Berlin. I think I read this one already. Let's just read it again to see what it means. The last major offensive of the war in Europe from April 16th, 1945. May 2nd, 1945, the Battle of Berlin saw the fall of the German army, the suicide of Hitler, and the beginning of the end of its Second World War. The inexorable push of the Soviet army westwards saw them advance as much as 25 miles a day, before stopping just 35 miles east of German capital. The Red Army then proceeded to attack the city from the east and south, while a third group devastated German defenses from the north via relentless Soviet army marched ever onwards, causing widespread panic in the already depleted German defenses, bolstered by inexperienced Hitler Youth members, and following fears of bloody fighting, took the Reichstag on the 30th of April 1945, which is my best friend's birth date, April 30th. You know, Metallica Miller. She was born on April 30th. She's only a few weeks older than me. More or less signaling the conclusion of war. Okay, so you guys probably seen this before. Okay. Battle of Britain. You see those airplanes. They're going somewhere. What do you think they're going? In the summer and fall of 1940, German and British air forces clashed in the skies over the United Kingdom. So that's what we're doing right now in this picture. Locked in the largest sustained bombing campaign to that date. A significant my fault. My fault, sorry. Turning point of the World War II. Forgot to tell you guys before I started this video. That's after video, but well, the middle of the video actually. Well, I was gonna have the ACT test on not ACT. I was gonna have that military test on Wednesday, but I wasn't feeling good, so I decided to reschedule it. Just to let you guys know that I usually get headaches when I don't when I'm not feeling it. That's why I had a really I had a headache that day, so I wasn't really feeling good. So now I'm feeling better now. I didn't get the amazing thing that I didn't do is I didn't get tested for COVID. I really didn't. Wish I did, but I don't know when COVID's gonna end up last. Or anyway, the Battle of Berlin ended when Germany's Luftwaffe failed to gain air superiority over the Royal Air Force despite months of targeting Britain's air bases, military posts, while ultimately its civilian population. Britain's decisive victory saved the country from a ground invasion and possible occupation by German forces, while proving that air power alone could be used to win a major battle. Okay, so you can see right here that's what they're planning to do. A battle of Midway. This seems interesting. I seen that picture before. It reminds me of somebody was blowing fireworks, but they're not. I mean, the Japanese fleet put to sea to threaten Midway Island, northwest of Hawaii, hoping to I cannot spell. I cannot say thing. Hoping to lure. Is that how you say? Is that how you say it? I'm confused. How do you say lure?
Lure.
Lure. Okay, sorry. Let me try again. Hoping to lure the Americans to destruction. In reality, it was the Japanese who were ambushed, losing four of their best careers. The Midway victory allowed the Americans to take the strategic initiative in the South Pacific. It would be a year and a half before American offensives directly across the Central Pacific began. But the Japanese had not had the time to fortify their island defense line. This was taking place by June 3rd, 1942, and June 7th. It's kind of like a weekend, I'm not really sure. Iwo Jima. I gotta ask, comment down below. I gotta ask this question. Comment down below when I answer this question, okay? So, sorry. Okay, so my question is, oops, sorry. What do you think the calendar looks back in the 80s? Or 70s or 80s? Comment down below and give me your best answer. I want to hear it. Comment down below and you can be in my shout out. It will be put in the description. Iwo Jima. The American amphibious invasion of Iwo Jima during World War II stemmed from the need for a base near the Japanese coast, following elaborate preparatory air and naval bombardment. Three U.S. Marine divisions landed on the island of February 1945. Iwo Jima was defended by roughly 23,000 Japanese armies and navy troops, who fought them from a elaborate network of caves, dugouts, tunnels, and underground installations. Despite the difficulty of the conditions, the Marines wiped out the defending forces after a month of fighting, and the battle earned a place in American lore with the publication of a photograph showing the U.S. flag being raised in victory. So this is what they're doing. This is what it presents to. They did a lot of work. Yeah, armies did a lot of work. I'm so surprised that my friends didn't join military because military is kind of hard. You have to like I don't really like the military situation because I would not be a military because military seems very, very hard. Okay? Um, yeah, the military seems very, very hard. You have to get up really, really early, and you have to get up really, really fast. Like, like extremely fast. I'm not even kidding. I don't even know why. I don't even know why my other cousin joined that group. He probably likes army. I mean, like, I don't hate the military, but military is a lot of work. You have to like run and do all this stuff, and you guys will be probably be tired of it. If you guys are in the military, great, because I mean it's your life. You can do whatever you want when you get older. You can do the job. You can do some other missions. You can do that campaign and spread you all out of distraction. Anyways, Okinawa, last and biggest of the Pacific Island battles of World War II. The Okinawa campaign for April 1st to June 22nd of 1945 involved the 287,000 troops of the U.S. 10th Army against 130,000 soldiers of the Japanese invasion of Japan. By the end of the 82-day campaign, Japan had lost more than 77,000 soldiers and allies had suffered more than 65,000 casualties, including 14,000 dead, including 14,000 died from that situation. There are many people dead. This is what they're planning. Operation Barbarossa. I am not familiar with this, but I can get used to it. Because I never seen that before, so it's my first time. On June 22nd, 1941, Adolf Hitler launched his armies eastward in a massive invasion of the Soviet Union. Three great army groups with over 3 million German soldiers, 150 divisions, and 3,000 tanks smashed across the frontier into Soviet territory. The invasion covered front of the north from the North Cape to this Black Sea, a distance of 2,000 miles. By this point, German combat effectiveness had reached its apogee. Look it up if you don't know what apogee is. Apogee. Apogee, which is explained by right here, where I'm pointing. In training, doctrine, and fighting ability, the force invading Russia represented the finest army to fight in the 20th century. Barbarossa was a crucial turning point in World War II, for its failure forced the Nazi Germany to fight a two-front war against the coalition possessing immensely superior resources. So this is where they at, and this is where they at, which can be explained by this picture. This is the areas of the Germany, which is green. The areas of USSR, which is red. Main cities of USSR, which is that star in a circle, in the white circle line. Objective of Operation Barbarossa, which is one of the arrows. Sorry. 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 Why are you going to make me back down? Doesn't make sense. Huh? What are you doing? I'm trying to. Oh, there we go. Okay, so this was made by Emma Walker, so personal narrative. Okay, so I think it's like Walker 1, Mrs. Schmidt. English 9, College Prep, September 6, 2018. This story is about going to a mission trip to Monterrey, Mexico. The mission trip was to help out in any way we could at the orphanage or boys' home because most of the boys that were just temporary. I left Columbus on June 1st and came back on June 8th. Those 7 days I made so many great memories. The first day we got there, we just unpacked out stuff and settled in. The next day, the boys from Refugio 112, 1,201 came to back campus, and we had an awesome pool party. We had a great time there, and there was food and games and a lot of swimming. We played a lot of icebreaker type games so we could start building a connection with the boys. Oops, sorry. The first day, everyone was a little bit nervous because we were afraid that something was going to go wrong. But fortunately, nothing went wrong. We all had a great day getting to know each other. We all became friends and bonded over food and swimming. The next day, everyone from my church, we all gathered at the boys' home. We got our work and assignments, and we got busy. The boys were not home yet because they still had school. The projects were building a fence on the roof because they had lost a lot of soccer balls before. They were also painting the railings over the windows, and the doors were also repainted to doors. We also made a cabinet for the boys to put their shoes in and a storage bench for them to put their shower stuff in. On Wednesday, we didn't go to the boys' home. On a campus, back ministries, they are foster homes for kids that were in one of the children's homes that back to back what has worked with. So we did some yard work for them, like cutting down weeds, and we dug a trench. It was a lot of hard work, and it was about 98 degrees that day, so it was even worse. When we finished, though, it was the best feeling ever. Thursday was the last day that we visited Refugio 1201. That day we finished up all of our work while the boys were getting their homework done. But when all of the boys finished their homework, we played soccer, and some of us were inside playing board games like Uno, Jenga, and Sorry. Sorry? What is Sorry, the game? Do you guys have a game, Sorry? What is a Sorry? Oh, okay. I kind of was like so confused about, um, I heard of that game before. Yeah, I was like so confused on that day. Yeah, I remember playing that game a long time ago. I don't know when's the last time I played this. My grandma has a lot of board games that I used to play a lot of times when I was younger. When I was like 9 or 10, or maybe actually I played board games since I was like 3 years old, so that was a good experience. I pretty much knew all the game rules about that too. I might go over there with you guys if you want. That day, we stayed at the boys' house for a couple hours longer. Lee stayed for lunch and dinner. For lunch, we had taquitos, corn, and apples. For dinner, we had tacos and the best rice I ever had in my entire life. The daily schedule was wake up at 6:30 a.m. Breakfast was at 7 a.m. I usually woke up at 7. Then we would head out at the orphanages at 8 a.m. to get there at 8 a.m. 8:30 a.m. Sorry, work until 11:30 a.m. From 12:45 we hung out with the boys and played a lot of soccer. Then we leave to go back to the campus at 4:30 and got back at 5 for dinner. Then we had free time for the rest of the night. At the campus, we were surrounded by the mountains and was so pretty there. We had two pools in a small soccer field. We played soccer with the kids that live on campus, and we had so much fun. One day we had a big tournament, apologies, against the people that live there and the volunteers. The next day we had the people that came from my church, and we did in middle school and younger kids versus not middle. Okay, part 3. School people, not middle school people, sorry. Most of the kids that came were all going to into 8th grade. I was the only girl, and I was the oldest of out of all the kids, so I was not in the not middle school team. The not middle school people won. That was a good day, and I learned so many soccer skills, and I got pretty good at soccer. The trip changed my life forever. I will never forget the time I went to Monterrey, Mexico with my church on a mission trip. We had so much fun playing with all the boys, and we accomplished all of our tasks that were given to us. We became so close and pretty much a family. Everyone that came on a mission trip, we all still have a great small get together, so we can keep that the connection we had on the trip. That was Emma's response. Great job, Emma. I'm gonna go with a short story. I might do one more. I'm not sure. All right, so Gamaro's response: Gamaro Guzman, English 9 college prep by September 6, 2018. The winning streak. We had a week to prepare for our upcoming match against Cathedral. It is a conference match, so bring your best game and behavior to practice, okay, boys? Yes, coach. We all said together. Now go do the warm-up drills. All right, freshmen, get to the end of the line, said the team captain Edgar. I sprint towards the line, excited and ready, but we have a problem, Isaac. An okay soccer player who thinks he's the best. Tell me, he tells me. Move, Gamara. Best player goes first. I wanted to punch him, but he is my teammate. I ignored him and did the drills. All right, boys, we're scrimmaging the girls today, says coach. Everyone practically is screaming and yelling. We know we're going to beat the girls. A few minutes later, we start the kickoff. We're tied. There's only 2 minutes left. I get subbed out. Everyone is surprised. Not because I got subbed, but because Isaac went in. The ball was thrown and we started playing again. I was worried Isaac might be the reason we'll lose to the girls. One of the girls gets the ball and sprints down towards the goal post. It is 1-on-1 against Isaac. She slings by him and scores. The score is now 2-1. We restarted into the middle as soon as the ball was kicked. The whistle was blown and we officially lost. It is the next day and we are all running because of yesterday's loss. A couple days passed by and we were only a few hours away from facing Cathedral. All of us are motivated and prepared. Everyone listen up. We are only 10 minutes away from the field. I want nothing but an excellent game for you boys, and I want a win, not a loss, so go out there and slap them. I was starting to become more and more nervous. We finally get off the bus, and I'm starting to hype up. I got my playlist on, and I'm ready. We started doing our drills, and we are all getting turned up. We're only 5 minutes away for officially starting your game. 3, 2, 1, and we're off. I play the ball backwards, and that was a mistake. I get the ball stolen, and they score. It's only been 7 seconds, and we already been conceded. Their student section is going wild and laughing at us. A couple of minutes pass by, and we're on a counter attack. It comes from the half line, and I received the ball from Jesse, and I played it wide. I made a run and kneel at bottom corner. It's 1-1, and we're back into this. We're all cheering. While the celebration, the half started without us knowing. Get back into shape, all of you, screams coach. We're losing again. It's 2-1. There are only 10 minutes till the game ends, and we're losing 2-1. I'm worried. So is the entire game or the entire team, and then it happens again. I get subbed out, and Isaac is in for me. I'm worried, and I don't want to lose the game. I yelled at my coach and told him to put me back in, and all he said was, "Sit down." While sitting down, Isaac gets beat. I look, and it's up to the goalkeeper. He saves it. And Ricardo clears the ball out of there, and we're on a counter attack, and we have the potion. How do you say that again? How do you pronounce it? I'm sorry. I don't have time for YouTube video. I want to look it up right now.
pronouncenames.com poisson, poisson,
Plus on? Oh, plus on. And we have plus on in their side of the field. The ball slips and it's in the middle of the field alone, and we see Isaac rush towards it, and boom, he kicked it and it goes in. We're tied and we're all celebrating. We win on penalties. Any more questions? I asked the crowd, and a reporter asked, "Did you beat him in all-time goals?" I laughed and said, "I have to go because we're going to be late to our flight." Your story was kind of interesting, to be honest, Jamaro. All right, good job anyway. Let's do one more assignment that I can actually see. My computer takes a minute. Sorry, guys. Let's read about the Great Depression. The Great Depression, Chapter 7 and Section 1. Directions. Go to your textbook homepage, has your name on it. Click on assignments and look for A, Falls Prosperity. Use all of the Section 1 out to fill out the notes. A false prosperity, page 1. What happened to the GMP during the 1920s? Who became POTUS after Coolidge? What were Hoover's first reforms after his election? 4 terms. The distribution of wealth, page 2. Answer all those questions to get a shout out. What did the United States have more of in the 1920s than ever before? How was that wealth of the United States distributed in the 1920s? One word, hint. On what? How much of the population earned 1 out of 4 of the nation's total income in 1928? In 1929, how many American households did not have enough money to cover their basic expenses? How did so many Americans not have enough money for basic needs during a time of such prosperity? What type of purchasing did sellers encourage during the 1920s? What did people buy on a credit versus cash? Farmers prosper, then go broke, page 3. What were farmers encouraged to do during WWI? What did farmers do with their increased earnings? Did they buy on credit or with cash? Circle 1. You can actually type it like this. You can do whatever you want to do. You can circle. If you're writing, you can write a circle. If you're on a computer, if you're on this page, if you're on in your own work, then I mean, you can then you can actually erase the word. Uh, you erase the word. Going backspace, and you actually can it can be the answer too. Did farm production levels change after World War One? Yes or no? What did the surplus in the U.S. lead to worldwide? What did this do to crop prices in the U.S.? If farmers produced too much without a good buyer, what did they have to do? True or false? Many farmers went out of business leading up to the 1930s. The financial system in the 1920s, page 4. The stock market. What determines stock prices? What makes the stock price go up? What makes the stock price go down? What happened to the stock prices in the 1920s? For many people, the blank seemed to be a blank, store said blank. The stock prices were blank even when the company was not making much blank. Starts with an M. Our stock price is an accurate reflection of a company's values when the stock price is up. But the company is not making a profit. Yes or no? The financial system in the 1920s, page 4. The banks. Why did people borrow more money during the 1920s? What is this practice called? True or false? Banks charged higher interest rates on money borrowed, so lending money became very profitable. What did government not pass during this time? Be specific. What could happen if a bank didn't have enough money to pay back their investors? The stock market declines, page 5. Speculation. The strength of the U.S. economy gave consumers blank to blank their money. What would speculators buy stocks on? What multiplied the risk as brokers? For brokers, sorry. Lack of regulation leads to the stock market decline. How did brokers? What am I saying? How did brokers profit? There were no blank to say how many stocks could be purchased at one time and what price. If people could not pay their debt, they had to blank their blank and pay the difference with their own blank. They wanted to sell their shares before blank blank any further to reduce their blank. Shares sell blank equals prices blank. Once people started selling, they became blank confident that stock prices would recover. Luck of buying confidence equals blank prices and blank shares bow. Black Tuesday, page 6. Why did people start taking their money out of banks? What did the crash of the stock market cause? The government's early response of page 7. The government fails to help. Did the government try to help the failing banks in raising unemployment rates? How long would the Great Depression last? Years. How long do you think it will last? Alright, so if you guys have any questions, just let me know and I'll answer for you right away. Um, even though um, I might have the military test by today or tomorrow, they said that they're going to schedule it, even though I didn't make it on Wednesday. So even though I didn't make it yesterday, I stayed up late. I actually woke up at like 3:49 p.m. and I was awake at. I stayed up until and I stayed up until 6 a.m. Actually 6:30 a.m. Actually 6 a.m. 6 o'clock. And it's really hard for me to go to school when I'm so tired, even though that e-learning was all Wednesdays. But don't worry, the hybrid will be over as soon as we make it. Well, if you have any questions, like I said, let me know. You can add any responses that you want. I don't care, but no offensive words. All right, see you guys on part 45.